Coming up next on Behind the Badge, a new unit dedicated to helping the homeless. Taking crime fighting to new heights. Honoring the first responders. Those stories and more. Behind the Badge starts right now. Hello everyone, I'm Larry Flowers. Welcome to another edition of Behind the Badge, an inside look at news and newsmakers of the Murfreesboro Police Department. Our lead story showcases the Homeless Outreach Support Team as they're helping the unhoused community get the resources they need.
No, not yet.
55-year-old Forrest Roberts moved from Jacksonville, Florida to Shelbyville to work at the Tyson chicken plant. Everything was going well until one day he started feeling bad.
My blood pressure went 213 and 106. And I felt where I knew something was wrong.
Roberts had a mild stroke. He eventually lost his job, his home, but not his hope. He says the Murfreesboro Police Department's Homeless Outreach Support Team, or H.O.S.T, has been a lifesaver.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have. Quite a bit.
Roberts and his girlfriend live at a homeless encampment off South Church Street.
Forrest was one of the first guys I met over here at the Journey Home.
Officer Anthony Berry started with the unit in March 2023. H.O.S.T officers helped Roberts apply for disability more than a year ago. They are hoping the disability benefits will be approved so Roberts will be able to move from his homeless camp into a home. Berry says most people who are homeless are not there by choice, but rather circumstances.
99% of the people out here are not choosing to live this lifestyle. It's not their first priority. They are set along this path, whether it be physical or mental disabilities that they may be dealing with.
Each morning at 8 a.m., H.O.S.T officers meet for roll call across from the Journey Home and then start their day working with the unhoused community.
Then we get out here and start having conversations with everybody that we can. Just see if anybody needs help in mental health, medication, whatever they need.
The H.O.S.T unit has been successful with helping some homeless clients with moving from homelessness to housing.
Indescribable kind of feeling, just to know that you helped them get back to where their goal has been for, sometimes weeks, months, years. Some of these people have been out here for a very long time, and to get back into a normal home is a process for them. So that's why our nonprofit organizations continue to do case management with them to make sure that they're adjusting well, because it's a different world coming from living out on the streets and then going back into a house again. So you have to keep up with them to make sure that they're staying on that steady path.
The H.O.S.T unit is also working closely with private property owners and have helped clean up many homeless camps.
They work hard every day to change lives.
This camp, next to the Stones River Greenway near Memorial Boulevard and Southeast Broad Street, was closed, and the private property owner paid to have all the trash left behind removed.
Normally we give 3 days for people to get out. And if they don't, then we start the law side of it, maybe trespassing, criminal trespassing charges.
Mental health co-responders from Volunteer Behavioral Healthcare Systems partner with the H.O.S.T officers, making sure the homeless community has all the needed resources.
I think that we wish that were the goal, is to get everyone into housing, but I think that more so the goal is to make sure their mental health is good, that they're not altered on substances, they're not suicidal, they're not, because of homelessness, they're not experiencing problems with the law, with society, with people.
The Homeless Outreach Support Team says it's all about relationships with the homeless community. The goal is to help eradicate homelessness in Murfreesboro.
So I hope that 5 years from now, that many officers outside the H.O.S.T unit understand that we're a lot closer to being in the same situation they are than we are to living on the mountaintops, so that we can just bridge that gap. That's what I hope, that we just have a much better communication here in 5 years between each other.
For more information on the MPD H.O.S.T team, visit our webpage and click on the Homeless Outreach Support Team tab. The Murfreesboro Police Department is taking crime fighting to new heights with the launch of an unmanned aircraft systems team. The drone program has already proven successful with helping to find a missing child and providing an eye in the sky for search warrants. It's the newest buzz on the police beat.
Okay. Taking off.
Crime fighting taking off to new heights.
What we're able to do here is if we have a very serious situation, we can get the drone there before the officers and communicate what's going on.
Enhancing public safety from above.
Any covert operations search warrant that we have, legal right to be there. Missing endangered elderly, missing endangered juvenile, Amber Alerts. What we call attempt to locate when somebody has a warrant on them.
Especially at night, for us, it would be impossible to find them in such a large area.
You're looking at nighttime video from one of the Murfreesboro Police Department's unmanned aircraft systems, searching for a missing 10-year-old girl with panicking parents.
The infrared will capture the heat signature of someone moving around or even stationary inside of the wooded area. That allows us to direct the search team in to find them.
The little girl was found. She's okay and was safely returned to her parents.
This is the Murfreesboro Police Department.
MPD launched the drone program in the summer of 2023. Currently, the department has 6 FAA certified remote pilots and 6 drones. 3 can fly indoors.
If we have that barricaded subject, or we have somebody that is wanted and we don't want to put an officer's life at risk, we can fly those inside.
Such was the case 3 years ago. A wanted man barricaded inside a home. A drone from the Rutherford County Fire and Rescue Department led police right to him.
They were able to put into the attic, which showed him in the attic. We were able to negotiate him and get him out.
It was at that moment the ideal of a drone program at MPD was considered. High above the Doug Young Public Safety Training Center, officers are practicing, putting their skills to the test.
All right, I'll back off.
Giving them a new point of view while taking the public's privacy seriously.
The only time we can use it on personal property is if we have a warrant for that property.
Whenever law enforcement agencies get new technology like unmanned aircraft systems, there's always a concern about privacy. But here at MPD, the drone team will only record when they have the rights to. Plus, there are policies in place to protect your Fourth Amendment rights.
There's a lot of legality goes to it. I know that the big brother is the worry with a lot of people that doesn't know the laws, but it's no different than any kind of a Fourth Amendment search and seizure thing applies to these as well.
The unmanned aircraft systems can send a live feed back to our real-time crime center as it's flying to and scoping out the scene before officers arrive.
I think it's going to be huge for the real-time crime center, especially for them getting the word to the officers immediately.
Drone technology saving lives and fighting crime from high above. MPD hopes to expand the drone program in the future. Did you know we have a public safety podcast called 10 Code? It's available on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music Audible, and Google Podcasts. Since MPD has outfitted all officers with body-worn cameras, we often highlight some of the interactions our officers have with the public in a segment we call Body Cameras in Action.
Put me on a motor. This is Ford Casey.
I don't think you're gonna make it.
I don't think so. If he gets it back there, he can go and come up right there.
Hey, if anything, he might want to drive over that way and go up through there. I'd probably do that.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Hey,
Keep it going.
go,
Don't
go,
stop.
go,
Don't
go,
stop.
go.
Don't stop. Go.
On the leg.
Go. On the leg.
That's all I know in Spanish.
That's it.
Oh gosh. Is this sliding?
Yeah.
It's sliding?
Right here. There you go.
No, that's not enough. Go, 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 go.
Go.
Gas, go. Ándale, fast. Rapido.
saw him go off the road.
I appreciate it.
We stopped to make sure they weren't hurt. There we go. I got it.
They were trying to reverse. I was like, ain't no way. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Each year, we pause to honor our first responders, that calm voice on the other end of the phone when you dial 911.
My name is Celeste. I am a CTO and a certified peer supporter. And I think being a telecommunicator is kind of a unique position in that you're kind of doing multiple jobs simultaneously. So on one hand, we're receiving the call, and for that citizen, it's a distressing situation. And so we're kind of helping them to manage that moment while also being kind of a liaison, almost a translator, taking the information that they're giving us and translating that into a succinct, coherent fashion for the responders. I think one theory that we have is one call at a time, and sometimes that can be a little challenging because you're not taking one call at a time. They're kind of piling up. You're taking multiple back to back to back, but you really just kind of have to, in your mind, process, I'm taking one call at a time. I finish that call, take a deep breath, move on to the next one. Honestly, there are times where you just kind of keep moving through it. And then once things have kind of died down and things have gotten a little more quiet, you can take a deep breath, you can kind of process what all just happened. So I love what we're working on here. We do have what we call a peer support team. And one thing that I love about peer support, because a lot of times with responders, and we are the first responders, and what you hear is that, oh, if you need anything, reach out. You know, if you're struggling, make sure you reach out. And I think one thing that our peer support team has done is we really take the initiative to try to reach in. So we don't wait for our responders to reach out to us. We hear, oh, this person had a hard call, or oh, this person lost someone on the phone. We're going to go to them. Hey, I heard about your call. What do you need? It could be as simple as a text message, an email. I've had people tell us that they were just so blessed because somebody reached out and said, hey, did you eat today? You know, it's just the simple things that we do to really try to reach in to our staff and not put all of the pressure on them while they're dealing with mental health issues or a traumatic situation. They can't really handle the pressure of trying to reach out, and so we try to reach in to them. The one thing that I love about my job is the moments. And I know it's weird to think when you think about this job that you would say you love the moments, because a lot of times the moments that we're a part of are not the best moments of someone's lives. Sometimes we are helping people through the worst moments of their lives, but I love being able to be there with someone in those moments. A lot of times that time span of when you're waiting for responders to get there can be some of the loneliest and most frightening moments of someone's life. And so being able to be there with them in those moments so that they feel supported and they don't feel alone is one of the things I love the most about my job.
Hi, my name is Shayna Futch. I am a communications specialist 2 here at Murfreesboro Police Department. I take both phone calls, 911 and non-emergency phone calls, as well as dispatch fire and police on the radio.
Murfreesboro Police Fire Dispatch, this is Shayna.
I actually started here as a 2. I had a year of experience at a different facility, and so my training would be just the same as everybody else's. I trained for orientation, learning policies about the police department as a whole, and then went through call taking training and NCIC training, and then I moved on to fire training, and now I'm currently in police radio training, and we're hoping that I will be done in the next month so I can be released and be a full member of the team in some way. When it comes to health and mental health aspects, I feel like I definitely have more support from the admin here. They've created a bunch of different things for us. We have the access to the gym 24/7 downstairs for our physical health, and here specifically in communications, The admin has created the peer support team, which are people that have been trained in certain ways, not licensed, but they are trained to help us through mental health crisis in some way. And not even with just the peer support team, you have everybody who has a concern to make sure that you're okay. Admin has provided the quiet rooms if we take a difficult call, things including child death or a bad accident that could have been fatal. And then members of our team really try to, pick up the slack, for lack of a better word, when you have to get up and just take a breather. We really try to work together to support each other on that. Admin as well has tried to help with morale, and we have a constant rolling reviews from people that we've taken 911 calls for. They're positive surveys, and we keep the reviews up on the screen that's constantly rolling to let us each know that we're doing a good job. Even though it's a hard job, we're doing a good job. One thing I love most about my job is just being there to help people through their hardest times. You can have somebody, their first car accident, and they're terrified and they're crying, and you're that one person that's going to try to keep them calm, let them know that you're there for them. And really, truly, for most of us, we're going to put ourselves in that situation. We're going to be there for you as if we were your friend or your family member. We want to be there to support you and help you through the hardest point of your life in most cases. And it's just a very rewarding feeling when you are able to take that hardest moment in somebody's life and make them feel comfortable with what's going on, at least comfortable enough to talk about it and to go through it to get the help that they need.
Hi, my name is Avery and I'm a communication specialist for the Murfreesboro Police Department. I'm actually the youngest dispatcher here that we currently have, and I am still in training, so I'm learning all of the things that any dispatcher would, just as the youngest one here. My main function at this point is to learn how to do the police radio. I have already been through the training process of learning how to answer phones, be trained for our NCIC national database entries, as well as the fire radio communications. So my last step in my training process would be the police radio function of the aspect.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
This job is not what you expect it to be. It is kind of like being on a roller coaster all the time. It's fun, it's exciting, it's interesting. You get to talk to multiple different people in their worst days and their best days, in all sorts and walks of life, and then you get to meet the people you're dispatching with as well, who are also having those same walks of life that you're encountering and working with. It is stressful. It is a lot. It is actually very fun, but very stressful at the same time. You have to be on top of it all the time. You have to study all of your dispositions and your codes and just be on top of it all the time. One of the most stressful parts of being a police radio trainee would be that you are now responsible for all of the documentations that the officers do out in the field. So if they are checking out at a separate location or going to a hot call, or they need backup, or if there's a dangerous situation, or if they need medical or fire or anything, you're responsible for gathering those resources and typing and documenting that down and getting it to them. And while it can be fun, and it is very stressful because those officers' lives are in your hands. The one thing that I love about my job is getting the sense that I'm helping someone else. When you talk to the callers on the phone, they're having the worst day of their life, and most of the time they're not happy. It's very stressful, very upsetting, very angry, and to be able to provide them with guidance and assistance and get them help and guide them through the process is probably one of the most rewarding parts of the job.
National Telecommunicators Week was observed April 14th through April 20th. Before we go, we want to send a few shout-outs. A special shout-out to Public Safety Human Resources Supervisor Sarah Gudger on achieving the Society for Human Resources Management Certified Professional Designation. A shout-out to our recent retirees, Detective Philip Lloyd, Lieutenant Jimmy Puckett, and Lieutenant Melanie Roche. Shout out to Officer Robert Baer on receiving the Jerry Anderson Hero Awards from the NAACP Murfreesboro branch at the MLK Jr. Breakfast. Baer helped save the life of a 1-year-old who wasn't breathing. A shout out to all of our school resource officers who were recognized on National SRO Day. Thanks for all you do to keep our city schools safe. A shout out to School Resource Officer Austin Reed, who was named SRO of the Year by the Murfreesboro City Schools. A shout out to all of our employees who were recently promoted. Carrie Ginsmer was promoted to Deputy Chief, Craig Snyder promoted to Captain, Amy Denton, Chris Haney, Jason Higgin, and Chris Williams all promoted to Lieutenant. Troy Black, Jonathan Brown, Joel Campbell, Connor Gavlik, and Dominique Rowley were all promoted to the rank of Sergeant. A shout out to Murfreesboro Emergency Communications Center employees Randy Price and James Smith, who were promoted to Communications Supervisor, Elizabeth Stubblefield, who was promoted to Communications Coordinator. A shout out to Celeste Thompson, who was honored with a Lifesavers Award for assisting with saving the life of a 1-year-old baby who was not breathing. A final shout out to Communications Supervisor Tiffany Matthews, who received the Emergency Number Professional Certification. Remember, we're here to serve and protect you. If you have any questions on the services the Murfreesboro Police Department offers, please give us a call at 615-849-2MPD. Also, be sure to check us out on social media on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time as we go behind the badge.